What clicked about a pupil after meeting their parents? I had this kid in my class named Brandon who was absolutely brilliant but wouldn't do any work. Like, he could solve complex math problems in his head but would turn in blank tests. He'd write these incredible essays during free time but refused to submit assignments. The other teachers thought he was just lazy or defiant. I thought maybe he had some learning disability we hadn't caught. Brandon would stay after school every day, not for detention, but just hanging around my classroom. He'd help me organize papers, clean whiteboards, whatever needed doing. Never asked for anything in return. Kid was polite, funny, actually pretty cool to talk to. But come test time or homework collection, he'd just shut down completely. One day I'm grading papers and Brandon's helping me staple packets together. Out of nowhere he goes, "Miss Johnson, do you think smart kids always do good in school?" I told him not necessarily, that there's lots of reasons why brilliant people struggle academically. He just nodded and kept stapling. 2 weeks later was parent-teacher conferences. Brandon's parents show up 15 minutes late. His mom's scrolling through her phone the entire time, barely looking up. His dad's checking his watch every 30 seconds like he's got somewhere way more important to be. I start explaining how talented Brandon is, how he shows real potential in writing and critical thinking. His mom finally looks up and goes, "Yeah, but what's his GPA?" I tell her he's failing most classes despite his obvious abilities. She sighs really loud and says, "God, Brandon, you're such a disappointment. We spend all this money on tutors and you still can't get simple grades right." His dad jumps in with, "Maybe if you actually tried instead of wasting time on your stupid stories and doodling, you'd amount to something." Brandon's just sitting there staring at his hands. I'm watching this kid who helps me every day, who writes beautiful poetry when he thinks no one's looking, getting torn apart by his own parents. Then his mom goes, "We're thinking about military school. Maybe they can discipline some sense into him since regular school clearly isn't working." She's talking about him like he's not even in the room, like he's this broken thing that needs fixing. That's when it all clicked. Brandon wasn't lazy or defiant, he was terrified. Every assignment was a chance to fail and disappoint them more. Every test was proof he wasn't good enough, so he'd rather turn in nothing than risk not being perfect. At least nothing couldn't be criticized. After they left, Brandon stayed behind like always. He was quiet for a while, then goes, "They're not wrong though, I am pretty disappointing." I looked at this kid who'd been carrying all this pressure, trying to be perfect for parents who'd never be satisfied. I changed my whole approach, started giving him assignments with no grades, just feedback, let him rewrite things until he felt good about them, took pressure off testing by offering alternative ways to show what he knew. Slowly, he started participating again. His parents never really changed, still demanded perfection, still made him feel worthless when he fell short. But Brandon started writing again, started raising his hand in class, started believing he was worth more than their approval. By the end of the year, his grades were solid B's and A's. Not because I lowered standards, but because he finally felt safe enough to try.